It's difficult to know how we secure ourselves in an environment in a country where the police are fairly dismissive of threats and there's no active presence of the police on the streets. Even when I was in Russia, I saw the police. Here in the UK, I almost never see them. And I find that worrying when there are such clear threats to people living here. The Iranian journalist Pouria Zaraati, who was stabbed in London yesterday, had recently interviewed the Premier in Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, and therefore earned the ire of the Iranian regime that sees anything to do with Israel as hateful. The Satan. They're wrong, of course, but equally, I myself would be wary of any association with the Israeli Prime Minister. So Zeraati works for the anti-Iranian channel Iran International and hosts a show there in Persian. And the interview that he conducted with Netanyahu was noted by an Iranian Revolutionary Guard piece that was published in the Far News Agency yesterday, and they described Netanyahu as the murderer of Gazan children, and that Zeraati's channel offered its antenna to the Israeli PM, and therefore that is why he fell under their observation and was targeted. A sister channel to the Islamic Guard channel, also operated by the Islamic Guard, claims that Zeraati is now dead. Radio 4 confirms that he's alive and responding well to treatment, and he has since then posted an update from his hospital bed making a V sign, and I'm posting that as a thumbnail as confirmation of the IRGC's failure. He was stabbed in the leg, apparently according to an eyewitness, 4 times, and the whole thing was described as hugely frightening. Iran itself, or the Chargé d'Affaires, disclaims any responsibility for the incident, but the IRGC claims that it's coming for dissident voices active in the UK. It's difficult to know how best to protect ourselves from such threats. This isn't a threat specifically against Persians who are resident here. It's a threat against our very existence. It's a threat against us. When foreign agents, whether they be from Iran or from Russia, can run around the country and try to assassinate people here who we have given our protection to, or who have embraced our way of life, it is utterly, utterly foul. Now, when I mention the Russian connection, eyebrows should be raised because you think, oh my goodness, this isn't about Russia, this is about Iran, except that last year there was a Chechen man called Magomed Hussein Dovtayev who was jailed for spying on Iran International. Iran International is the TV program broadcasting in Persian for which Pouria Zeraati works as a senior host. So I think he had good reason to be fearful, and I think we need to wonder why proper protection wasn't afforded to him, particularly given the incidents of threats, particularly given the activity of this Chechen madman. And this is the combination. This is about Iran and Russia spreading their tentacles of hate into our country. And it's something that we should respond to, rather than say, oh, we'll wait until something happens, then we'll respond. We can't wait until something happens. We have to have some sort of proactive solution. And that should be a police force. We should have a police force that works. Instead, the police force is spending all its time chasing up silly stories about equality, stupid stories, and it's not doing its real work. Its real work is twofold. Number one, to pursue crime, and number two, to be seen as a beacon of stability and a reassuring presence in our society. Well, I don't see the police at all. I am not reassured.